Hi, this is Tammy with Tammy Creations, and I'm going to show you how to wrap an elongated oval. And mine is about 2 inches, well, 1 7/8 inch long and about 1 inch wide. And then I've got 4 lengths of 20 gauge dead soft square copper wire. These are 11 inches each. And then I've got 28 gauge wire, about 4 feet, and then just a small piece of my 20 gauge square copper wire, maybe 2 inches of that, and then a few beads. These are just copper beads, 3-4 millimeters. You'll need, if you have them, bail making pliers. You will need flush cutters, chain nose or tweezer nose pliers, round nose pliers, and if you have them, the nylon jaw pliers. So to begin, we're going to start with a weave around our 4 square wires. So starting with the bottom one, I'm going to go around it 3 times with my 28 gauge wire, about 4 inches from the outside. And then I'm going to put my next wire on top of that, and I'm going to go around both wires 2 times. Then I'm going to come in between those 2 wires and put the next one on top. I'm going to go around those 2 twice. I'm going to put the 4th one on top, and I'm going to go underneath the second from the top wire and around the top 2 twice. Okay, then we're going to come back down the same way. We're going to go twice around these middle 2, so you have to go in between the bottom 2, twice around the middle 2, and then twice around the bottom 2. So you just go under the bottom 1 and around the bottom 2 twice. And then we're going to do 3 times around just the bottom wire. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to repeat this again, twice around the bottom 2. In between the bottom 2 and twice around the middle 2. In between the middle 2 and twice around the top 2. In between the bottom 2 and twice around the middle. And then underneath the bottom wire and twice around the bottom 2. And finally 3 wraps around the bottom wire. Okay, I'm going to make a few repeats of this and then I'll be back. So I did 8 total repeats, and then I'm going to press them down with my nylon jaw pliers and trim off the tails. I like to take my stone, I like to have the part where they're kind of separated, the top piece, to be on top of the stone. And then we're going to have the rest come around. So you kind of shape it around your stone, keeping this centered, the part that you wove kind of centered at the bottom. And then just with my finger, I'm going to take this back wire, the bottom wire, and push it to the back like this. So that's going to keep it from falling out the back. And then I'm going to continue bringing these up the sides. And the top wires are kind of on top of the stone. And the cabochon is sitting on top of where you wove, okay? So you can kind of push that down on the table to make that sort of flat there. Now, coming up the side, I'm going to put a bead on this top wire. So I'm going to get one of my beads out here. I think it's a 3 or 4 millimeter. And I'm going to put it on this top wire. And then I'm going to make a little curl. I want to keep that so that it's in the center of where the curl is. So make a little curl like this with that bead there in the middle. And then continue bringing this up, right? And then I'm going to pull this across so that they cross in the center, and then I'm going to bend them upward where they meet. So you want to make sure that those are centered above the stone. And I like to have one of these wires right along the side, and then the 2 other ones can be on top of your stone. And my stone is so polished, it's almost slippery. So it's a little bit hard to keep them exactly where I want them at this point. So from here, I'm going to turn it to the back. And I've got these 2 back wires. And I'm just going to take one of my back wires, and I'm going to start bringing it around all of these on the side, keeping them stacked neatly, and then around the other side. And then once more, coming around the front. All right. So there is that. Then I'm going to separate these out to the different sides. All right. And I'm going to make a bail with 3 wires in the back. All right, so we've got 3 wires here that we can use in the back. I'm just going to straighten those out a little bit. And I'm going to use my bail making pliers, and I'm going to put them over this largest one that I have here. So I'm going to put them in here, press them over the largest one like this, and then down in the back. And I'm going to close this up a little bit. And I don't need it quite this wide, so I'm going to elongate it just by pressing those together. You just need it wide enough, really, for the chain to be able to go through. All right, then I'm going to continue with this one that was coming around, just to capture these in the back. Bring it around one last time. And I'm going to trim it and then tuck it inside the bail. Okay. So we've got several wires, the bail pliers, wires coming out here. So we've got one on each side and then the one in the middle. And I'm gonna cut the one in the middle short. And then with my round nose pliers, make a little curl with it in the back, just so it's kind of hidden there in the back. And then I'm going to use my chain nose or tweezer nose pliers on this one and just twist the whole piece to make this wire twisted. And this works with square wire. If you have round wire, that is not going to make that effect. But that's one reason I really like the square wire. The other reason is that it just hugs the stone a little bit better than round wire does. All right, so with this twisted wire, I'm gonna bring it around the front and up, make a curl with it, like this. And then I'm going to make one more curl going the other direction. And I'm gonna trim it here and continue closing that up with my round nose pliers. Okay. From here, I'm going to bring this one over the center, and I'm going to put another bead on this one, so it will be kind of in the middle of the bail. So this is the same size bead, but you can do it however you like. Actually, that one is, the hole isn't big enough to go around my wire. So let me find one that has a little bit bigger hole there in the center. There we go. All right. And then I'm going to continue that around like this. And I'm just going to bring it around the back and tuck it in there, like that. Okay. Just adjust a little bit so that your bead is in the center or wherever you want it to be. All right. Now I'm going to take these two wires and I'm going to hold them together at the same time and twist them around like this. And then I'm going to, right where they come into the stone, I'm going to cut them so they're the same length. But I'm going to take the top one and curl it upward like this. And the bottom one, I'm going to curl downward. Like this. Okay. Now, let's see. With these two, I think I'm going to have the bottom one come around and it's going to come across the center of the stone. And I'm going to put a couple of beads on there. So let me get these out. Okay, I'm going to put 2 beads on this one as it comes across that stone. 1, 2. Okay. And I'm going to make a little curl but I'm not going to put it around both of those. I'm just going to put it at the bottom of where those 2 beads are, like this. So it's actually kind of not quite against the stone. It's kind of sticking out just a little bit. But if yours doesn't do that, it's fine, really. I mean, it's your design. You can do it how you like. But I'm going to bring this around to the back then. And I'm going to trim it and then tuck it in above here. And I'm going to bend it so that it will go and I can push it, tuck it in. There. Like that. All right. Then we've got one more. And I think what we'll do with this one is we're going to make a curl in front of the bail, like this. And then we're going to bring it around and curl it the other direction at the top of the bail. I'm going to trim it so I can make it nice and round with my round nose pliers. There. And then I'm just going to press it up against the bail wires like this. All right. Now, I think I'm going to get some half round wire to connect these because that one doesn't want to stay down. So just get a little piece of, this is 22 gauge half round wire. And I'm going to go with the flat side up. I'm going to go inside the curl and under this other wire. I'm going to press that down. And then I'm going to come up and over through the curl and under that wire, pull it through. And I'll just do that a couple times to make sure that those are secure. Pull it through. And then we can trim those off. And tuck them in. Okay. All right. Now, I was going to do something with this extra piece of square wire, but I'm not sure that it needs it. I was going to create a little curly Q like this that kind of goes one way and then the other way. And then I was going to attach it here in the center. I guess I still could do that just to show you how that would work. I'm going to use more half round wire. So we'll need about 3 inches. And I'm going to attach it here under this wire and through this curl, this first curl. And you have to really capture it and push that down. and then come back through it, through the curl and under this one. This is tricky. Pull that through. Okay. I'm going to trim off this tail here. All right, and just once more come around. So this can kind of be optional. You don't have to do this because it is really hard to keep a hold of it. I feel like I need to do one more because it doesn't feel real stable yet. There we go. And I'm going to trim that and tuck it in both sides. Okay, and then we want it to connect here to this one. So I'll need one more small piece, about 3 inches. This one won't be quite as fiddly because we've got one end tied down. I'm going to come through. I'm going to bend it just a little bit so that it will want to come up and through this. There we go. Through that curl. Then we'll go under it and through. Pull it through. Okay. And again, we'll bring it under and through. Okay. And I think that should do it. I'm going to trim these and then tuck it under. So I'll tuck this underneath here and tuck this one inside there. Press them down. Okay, so I don't think it really needed that, but it's just another piece of design and gives you an idea of the types of things you can do. So this one, I will say, is a bit overly curly, but if you like that, then that's good. Another place you might want to tie down is right here where these two are going different directions. So I'll just do that real quick just to be safe, and that should be pretty easy to go around these two here. We're not really attaching them to anything other than each other. I feel like 3 times is safer than 2. There we go. And then can trim these off and tuck them in, press them down. Squish them together. There you go. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.